All right, everybody. Sam versus Wild here. It's been a while since I've actually gone live, so I apologize. It's been a hectic month or so. Um, but just to kind of recap, I started a shelter, a long-term shelter build over at my buddy's property, and so you guys can go back and look at some of those videos if you haven't already checked them out. Also, check out Sam versus Wild on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm going to try to get something going with Twitter, I guess. Still a lot to learn, kind of behind the learning curve, but just kind of rolling with it. I have some great help. A lot of people have been reaching out to me and giving me great advice. So just bear with me. I'll slowly give it revamping for the pages and be editing more videos. Have more camera equipment that I've received recently. So yeah, I'm excited. Just mainly just to be getting out there. Hey, Shauna. Yeah, yes, yeah. Hey guys, thanks for coming out, joining me. Like I said, it's been a while, but so just to recap, structure build is going great. Already spent the night out there several times, and it's been a blast. It's actually very warm and cozy. Always room for improvement. I'm a firm believer in that. And what else? So we checked the crawdad trap several times, and there's no crawdads in that pond. I am very disheartened to learn that and actually accept that. But c'est la vie, right? So now moving forward, I do want to restructure some of the walls, make it more of an enclosure, do better bracing and stuff like that. But overall, like the fire pit's great, keeps it really, really warm. Built a little wood rack, kindling rack, all that stuff. It's just been a lot of fun. Just haven't gotten to get out there lately. But this coming weekend, I should say, I'm actually going to be out of town. I'll be judging a bus driving event. So for those of you who know my personal occupation, I'm a special needs bus driver. And yeah, so I'll be over at the state competition judging the big buses, the transit style buses. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And so that'll be my Saturday and Sunday. And school lets out next Thursday. And after that, I think that's my last weekend. My son has a concert. He plays guitar. So going to be checking him out next weekend. And then after that, I just roll into my summer job, which is driving bus for the YMCA camp, summer camp, which is it's a lot of fun. So after that, well, midway through that, I have a management training program that I have to attend over at the Central Washington University. So I'll be gone for that. So it's just what I'm trying to tell you guys is I have a really busy summer, and I want to get out so bad because 4th of July is when crab season opens, and I have been just jonesing or fiending to go slay some crab, and that's going to be some of my best footage. You guys are going to really enjoy that. I'm really good at it. It's something that I enjoy doing, and it's a lot of fun teaching people to do it, and it's so much fun to eat. So just reading comments. So Shauna, you've been getting a lot of rain. Yeah, it's been dumping over here, which is crazy because it's kind of supposed to be summer, but I'll take it because it gets hot in a school bus. So even though we have in the small buses we have AC, big buses don't. So yeah, everybody has been very, very busy, and it's hard. It's hard to get out there and keep feeding your channel. Like if you're not truly devout to this, and I want to be. Like, this is my passion. I love it. You guys can see my mess. So when I come down here, I'm just whittling things and just dinking around. But it's fun. It's addicting, and there's so much stuff I want to do. There's so many like snares I want to do, and setting traps, all kinds of stuff. Fire. Uh, I see other channels, you know, and I just kind of want to do my own thing. And in my description, it's the average Joe. So I'm not claiming to be like a primitive survivalist or anything like that. So yeah, if you can do a pump drill, freaking awesome. I'm good with my flint and ferro rod, and you know, just some char cloth that I make. That's kind of my style. I can still get down. I can still make kindling and all that stuff, and it's all in good fun. But my description says like an average Joe's hat, basically, to survival. So like I use lint. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not like, if you check my pack, I have a bag of lint. It's free. Well, I guess it's a byproduct of what I pay for, so I keep it. And it works. It works so well, and I can get my fires going, and I love it. And then if it's too damp or too windy or whatever, then I'll break out my char cloth. But I could generally get a fire going. Yes, it's good to know the pump drill, bow saw, all that stuff. But or the, you know, different just primitive, you know, friction fires. I see a lot of my other channels that I subscribe to, and it's great. Like, I love it. Now the practicality, like I saw, and I almost wanted to attempt it just to see, was like they were doing this one-armed or one-handed fire start challenge. And I get it. Like, what if you do get hurt in the event? It's good to know if you can do these things. So, but for me, I'm an average guy, average Joe, and so what you're going to be seeing is going to be the way I get down, and it's still fun. It's still sufficient. It's just the way I get down. So, we're talking about, what are we talking about? Oh, getting some tans going. Yeah. Well, yeah, and so I saw his, but then I went on to some, like, so this it's like a rabbit hole, and it gets really deep into like all these different pages. And so I went to, there was one that there was a panel, and McCartney Survival. Like, I like him. Like, I go to his, and I like hearing his insight. You know, and he teaches classes and all that stuff, so that's pretty cool. But the panel was kind of comprised of different people, different walks of life, and different levels of survival skills. And so I was listening to them, just kind of like their different fire starting techniques. And for me, sometimes less is more. You know, like, if I could just get it going, if I have the tools to be successful, I'm going to utilize those, obviously. But do I know how to do friction fires? Yeah. Am I going to go and do it? Probably not. It's a lot. You exert so much energy, and I would rather exert that on like processing wood or building a shelter. And if I can get a fire going with lint and char cloth, awesome. But again, who, you know, and I get both sides of the coin. You know, like, who's going to have char cloth in a random survival case? You know, just an accident, and you happen to be out there stranded, and you need to okay, cool, it's good to know a friction fire. But if you also have your bug out bag, and you have your day pack or whatever, you know, as most modern survivalists do, they have that stuff in their trunk or whatever. Then you should have lighter. You know, I carry a lighter. Do I use it? No, but in the event, yeah, I have it. So I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. It kind of comes to mind, but less is always best, because in real life you'll have close to nothing. Yeah, and again, it's good to know all these different. I mean, you can start fire with magnifying glass, Coke bottle, you know, the bottom of it, you know, and try to use the sunlight, you know, depending on if you have sunlight. So there's so many different things. There's, you know, battery and foil. I can go on and on. It's good to have that information. It's good to have that knowledge. good to impart it. So I appreciate all these channels for that. It's kind of not the way I'm going though. Mine is just kind of practical application of an average Joe or lazy. No, I'm just like, gotta rub, Shauna. Gotta rub. Oh, okay. Bye, Kristen. Thanks for stopping by. Looks like it's just me and you, Shauna. I appreciate you hanging out. If you got to go, I understand. Mainly, I'm just trying to get this content on the page because I haven't posted anything in a while. Fishing with Seabass. What's up? What's up, Seabass? Man, this is a legend. So, Seabass is, I look at him like a little brother I haven't met yet. So he's kind of like a YouTube, not YouTube, but Facebook star already. And he's sponsored and some great fisherman, great technique, very personable and just encouraging. And that's what, those are the type of people I want to surround myself with because I feel like-minded. So I followed one of his pages because he has a few. And that's good because he kind of taps into every different realm of fishing, in whether it's whether it's crab, whether it's river fishing. He's tapped into everything. So I started following several of his pages, kind of engaged with him a little bit, and then I saw his crab catching techniques, and I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest. At first it looked staged. I was like, no way, because he was just randomly with a castable crab trap. And basically it works like a book. So when you cast it, it goes, and when it lands, it opens, and then the bait's right in the middle. And so then when you reel it in, it closes, and you kind of catch whatever's on the actual platform of the trap. So really cool. But he also had these stakes in the water with like a chicken leg attached to it. And so in between cast and reeling, he was just like, oh, wait, I think I see something. So that's when it kind of looked like, I was like, no way. He probably, but then I was like, the more I thought about it, because he had a crab on there. And they're free range right there. They're not attached. They're just plucking at that chicken. And then you just snatch them out of the water. So the more I thought about it, I was like, that might work. And so I had a busted up laundry rack, one of those collapsibles, and they have a bunch of wooden dowels. And so it was one of my honey-do lists, like glue, reinforce it, glue it back together. So then I was like, well, I'm gonna bust it up and sharpen some ends, and then that way I could stake it down in the sand. And I ended up zip tying, so I'd take about 5 of them, and I'd stab them. And by the time you set your line of 5, you walk back to the first one you set, and you already have crab on there. It's really crazy how quickly it works. So hey, what's up, Tyler? Thanks for stopping by. I was filling everybody in. Everybody, like there's a lot of people, but I was on. We got Seabass stopped by. He's kind of a local legend up here, and he's still in. I want to say he's like a sophomore in high school or something like that. Plays football, but he's a sponsored fisherman, and he just recently acquired a boat and all this stuff. So he's a really cool guy. So the topic was, what I got on topic was like how I went to his page and I learned how to catch crab by hand. And it's just really cool. Just, using some wooden stakes or whatever you have laying around and some chicken legs zip tied to it. And before you know it, like the crab come out, you set it right along like a rock ridge or a seawall or something like that, where the crab naturally are. And they come out and then they just start chewing at it, or trying to pinch off whatever they can, and you just snatch them up by their hind legs, throw them in a bucket, obviously after sizing them up, because poaching is a no-no. It'll cost you. So but kind of the broad scope of this is just to get some content out there, because I haven't gone live, and I don't know, I don't even remember the last time I went live. So yeah, Tyler, this is the fun type of catching crabs. And you can do it with your friends. uh, yeah, so season on my weekend, and again, I'm just really excited. I have a friend who owns a cabin. She's kind of like my work mom, and she's let me stay at her cabin. It's over in the Hood Canal, and they have oysters there, like the oyster fields. They have clams, they have horse clams, gooey duck, all kinds of steamers, and they have crab. So I'm going to be going out there and just seeing what I can get. Super excited. I just want to get a lot of good footage, and there it doesn't take much. You can anyone buffering, or is it me? I don't know. It looks good on my end. Actually, no, I'm just playing. But okay, welcome back. So yeah, being pinched by a crab would suck. Yeah, so I actually used to commercial fish in Alaska, like out of Seattle. We'd take the boat up, and I started out doing king crab, and that sucks because I was like a processor, and then I was a bait boy, and so you're pitching crab onto the conveyor belt because we were on a catcher processor, and you're standing in the tanks with the crab just pitching them, and it's a lot to get used to because I think I was like, what, 25, and just I was from Cali, moved up here, transplant up to Washington, and so all this other stuff was new to me, but I just kind of like submerged myself. I just jumped right in, and so now I know, like, king crab, if one pinches you, like when you're pitching it, you just lift it. They don't like to support their own weight, so they're going to let go. Now I tried that with crawdads. It's not the same. So I ended up, like, I've tried it with red rock. I was trying to teach my son this lesson. I was like, oh yeah, this is what we used to do with king crab, and he's like, okay. And so I went with a red rock crab, and it pinched me, and then I lifted it, and it was still on. So I ended up flinging it against a rock, and still had the claw on me. But so it didn't go as planned. I probably should have tried that before I showed anybody. I'm not proud about it, but it happened, and that's what you get with me. I will share my success just as well as my shortcomings or failures. I don't like to use that too often because there's always another try. Have I ever tried primitive crab traps? I've done like the pits. So where you dig a pit, you put some bait in there, and then you make it to where they'll climb in, but they can't get out. Same premise as like a crawdad trap kind of, but in the sand. Did I catch any? No, because I don't think I stayed along. I would probably do that and be successful at night if I were to actually camp on a beach or something. And right now, I just don't have the freedom in my schedule. I'll put it that way. And you guys can decipher that however you want. Um, you'll end up flinging the crawdad apart from us, but yeah, and that's generally what happens. What if you're unsuspecting, you're new to any type of shellfish catching? I'll just put it that way. Uh, and you get pinched, your natural reaction is, I don't like this. Get off of me, and there it goes. Um, but yeah, crawdads have the death grip. So yeah, and that's one of those trial and errors you learn the hard way. Where are you now again? Where am I? Okay, so I'm up in the Pacific Northwest. I actually live in a town called North Bend, which is about 45 minutes east of Seattle. So it's actually the perfect location, I feel, because I have a lot of forest around us, and then the Elliott Bay is, like I said, 40 minutes away. So I can go and go to Alki Beach, which Seabass knows about Alki Beach. That's where there's a lot of crab all around. Just depends on where you go. And then if I want to go further, I'll go to the Hood Canal, which is where my friend Kit, she has a cabin out there, and so I go utilize that. and she actually just asked me, I want to say today or yesterday, I don't know, it's been a long week, whether I was going to plan on going out there this summer. And I was like, yeah, that's like a no-brainer, because there's crab to be caught. And you know, I want to do so many different things. I want to do you know, like a clam chowder. I want to do I want to go do squidding. Like sea bass is great at squidding, so I want to go catch some squid, make some fresh calamari. A lot of those guys use that stuff for bait, but I figure I'll just try it anyways, and see what we can get out of there. So let me figure this out. Is Pocket Lives where it's at? Oh, get a text. Can you not see my? So am I buffering? I don't know. I don't know if I should refresh this. I might. Hey, Frost Wolf Studios. I don't know. I just got like a really long chat list now. Sweet. This is hydrating time. Mr. Pocket Live, you did today. Tell me how to go. So Pocket Lives, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're referring to. So somebody help me out. I'm new. I'm probably the wrong guy to be asking a lot of things. Like I said, the disclaimer is in the description. The average Joe. So there's that. I can play some darts though. I don't know. That's totally off topic, but I don't know if any of my viewers play darts. Oh, what's that? What the heck? Sorry. All these updates came up, and then yeah. So do it live in your pocket, so you can nonchalant. Do it live at work without getting caught. Ooh, man. Yeah, I don't know. So you did. So what I'm gathering is Tyler did a pocket live at work. And so for me, I don't think I would do that, just because yeah, there's it's not good. It's like a federal job, and I don't think I could talk my way out of that, justifying like why I was live. And I really like my job. I'm really good at it. And yeah, I don't think I would ever, at my old job, my previous job, I was a shipping and receiving, so I was on forklift. I would go live on that, but I would actually like blatantly, like I would hold the camera while I'm driving, and you know I would be recording. We used to like to with your forklift forks, and on the ground concrete, you'd put a quarter, and you would flip the quarter and catch it on your forks, and that was kind of like the test that you were good. But then the next stage to that was that you would just kind of shake it off, and you could place it on the top of a bottle cap on like an actual water bottle. So that's what I would do. But yeah, I'm the inventor of the Pocket Live. They don't care. I only do it so I can work and show everyone what I do live. So what is it that you do, Tyler? If you don't mind me asking, share with us, please. Nice. I got a lot of respect for construction. It's labor intensive, even getting into the fancier side of stuff like masonry, whatever. And those guys, I see postings out here a lot because it's like booming for homing developments and stuff, and they're like paying like $60 an hour for experienced masonry guys. But I bet they definitely get their work out of you. Work 18 hours a day, 80 hours a week. Yeah, I believe it, man. There's people, they need it's a niche, it's not for everybody. I used to do tile, like commercial tile, and we do Walmarts, and that sucked. I mean, I loved it because I was, physically fit and I was young, and we'd do like 5,000 square feet a night with like 3 setters. And I started out as like a gopher, just running product and mixing and stuff like that and running tile. But then finally I got promoted to being a setter, and yeah, it ages you though. And my foreman, or the lead for the crew, he looked like, he was always getting off a horse. The way he would waddle around and walk like John Wayne, kind of just. Summertime is busy, but I do take winter off and get paid for it, so it's not too bad. Yeah, that's awesome. If you have that kind of job security and the perks to go with it, heck yeah, that's kind of like what you do. You set yourself up for success, and translates to all different aspects of life. Even like getting back to what the channel's about, you set yourself up for success so you can kind of take it easy. So you work hard, you process a lot of wood so you can actually just sit by the fire and enjoy it. Nice. Yeah, that's kind of like living the dream, right? You're just you're not working to live, you're living to work, is what a lot of us do. But when you start setting yourself up for success with, you got a company truck, you got your 401k, all that good benefits, that's you're setting yourself up for your later years. And just keep your nose to the grindstone, and that's all you can ask for. Like for us, we just renegotiated our contract. So for bus drivers right now, we make 25.38 an hour, and they just negotiated a 23% raise. So we get 12% the first year. So we'll be going up to 28.43. Yeah, 28.43 an hour, and then we get another 5% after that the next school year, and then another 6% the year after that. So, by 2021-22 school year, we'll be making like over $30 an hour to drive a school bus, which is pretty good. But yeah, let's see how much I've been able to do a lot of stuff with this job. Exactly. Yeah, just whatever you can get out of that company, you just make it work and set yourself apart by your work ethic. That's what I've always. That's one of my life lessons from my dad was, you get paid to do a job, you do it to the best of your ability, because they can always pay somebody else to do that job, and you take pride in your work, and it should show, and it should set you apart from the rest of the your coworkers. But unless you're union, then it's just you do enough to keep your job. This is what kind of what I found myself in. I love my job. It's union. It's my first union I've been involved with, so it's an adjustment process, because where it's right to work or whatever, generally those people weed themselves out with poor work ethic or complacency, and not so much in unions. I love unions. I love that you get a lot of support, and again, 23% raise. Can't argue that. That's a win. But there's no incentive to excel, and that's kind of it's. I guess it could be disheartening, but for me, I just don't let it phase me. I got goals of what I'm going to achieve, where I'm at, and so I just kind of got to hunker down and get it done, and sacrifice to get ahead. Thank you, Shauna. Yeah, Kristen B, if you want to go live, I can always jump on your guys' thing. I wasn't planning on going this long. That's why I said just a quick update. I actually didn't even, I digressed. So I talked about kind of working on the shelter, and now I got to talk about what I wanted to do. So I'll wrap up real quick. The next couple of weeks, obviously, crab. Go get some crab. Haven't really been too pushing the crawdads, and it's just kind of been, I don't know, I've been really busy at work, so that's my only excuse. It's not really an excuse, it's the justification, but I'll get better about it because crawdad season is open till I want to say end of October, and whereas crab season is only open for a month, so I definitely have to get out there, and I think it's a month, maybe 2 months, but it's not that long of a window, so I got to get in as many crab as I can. I think the limit's like 6 a day. So nice. That's awesome that you get that many views. I definitely so one of my buddies, after he saw um, what I was doing, what he grasped the premise of what I'm trying to achieve. He goes on to message me on Facebook. He's like, "Hey man," and we met through darts. He's a great guy, and he's like, "So my mom has like 25 acres," and I'm like, "Is it like forest? Is it wooded?" He's like, "Oh yeah." And it's like, "Would she be okay with me?" "Oh yeah." So just like now I just got to get over to Spokane and get that arranged. But so I have options, but that's like a 4 hour trip for me. So I would have to have several days and probably will take maybe 2 buddies out there because I want to process as much wood as I can, dig as much as I can, haul rocks. And for me, I had a bilateral inguinal hernia surgery. So that's like right in the crotchal region. So it sucks. I got like 2 big old scars, like 4 inches and 5 inches on either side of my groin, which is too much information, but sorry. So anyways, so I'll start getting active, and then it's not a good feeling. It just, it sucks. I can't describe it any other way. I want to start lifting a lot, and then it's just like, oh wait, you're not fully healed yet. So like, chill out. So either way, I want to start getting out there. I want to go to Spokane and check out his mom's plot of land because I'm sure in 25 acres I could find a good resourceful area with plenty of, an abundance of resources. And so it might take several trips, but eventually, probably by the end of the year, we'll have that squared away, hashed away. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Big things coming. And thank you guys all for just tuning in, sharing, 33 minutes of your day or however much you stop by. I really appreciate it. Oh, what am I doing with the crawdads? So I actually eat them because the ones I catch, they're the invasive species. There's a native species, and the size difference is ridiculous. So the native species is probably like maybe 2 inches long. The invasive species I've caught, some of them were the length of my hand, and it's just ridiculous. And they have like big, big, big claws, and so usually a crawdad you won't mess with the claws, but these you can actually just the bottom half of the claw, just split it open and bam, suck that meat out because it's a good hunk of meat. Yeah, the invasive ones, those are red, nice, bright red, deep red, and even towards a darker purplish red. And so they actually freeze well. So I'll catch them, I'll kind of cleanse them, flush them, try to get that poop vein out by flushing the water several times. And then once they're there and they're hanging out in the bucket, then you cook them. And then after that, you either eat them or you can freeze them. So you can actually have another crawdad feast later. I've done several crawdad feeds at my work, and it was fun because I emptied out my freezer. I had, I don't know how many pounds of crawdads frozen, already cooked, and all that stuff. And I had crab legs and put some andouille sausage and some potatoes and corn and the seasoning and all that stuff. And it was amazing. So They all loved it. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna shut it down for now, and I'll be back. I'll jump in one of your guys' streams. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining me. Sam vs. Wild. See you next time.